Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, we can't hear any sound. We can't hear the kirtan. Is the volume low or something?
Yeah, we can hear you, Mataji, but not the kirtan.
Yeah, we can't hear the kirtan. Maybe people in the mandir, in the temple, they have to adjust the volume. We did hear a
Okay.
little bit. Yeah, we did hear a little bit and then it went away.
Yeah, correct.
Can we please
Oh,
have a high volume? Because sometimes the mic sort of, when the speaker speaks, he moves his head around and we can't even hear it properly. The mic has to be on a higher volume.
Yes. So let's wait once Prabhuji comes on. But then they need to adjust it right now.
Yeah. Don't know what the reception is like. Let's see once they set it up.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna, everybody, and welcome to this wonderful evening program. We are extremely fortunate and blessed. I'm standing in the front. So we're extremely fortunate and blessed to have with us His Grace Gauranga Darshan Prabhu. I'm sure all of you would have seen him, heard him, follow him. Some of you do his courses as well. This is the first time he's come to Auckland. Can we give him a nice Hare Krishna? Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So Prabhuji, of course, needs no introduction, but just I'll mention a few things. So he's a disciple of His Holiness Radhanath Swami and is himself a very distinguished educator, prolific speaker, and a spiritual author of over 40 books. He holds a master's degree in system science and automation from the prestigious Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore, India. His outstanding contributions have earned him accolades as the Visionary Leader Spirituality Award from Brand Vision Inc. and Spiritual Scientist Award from Andhra University. So here we have with us Gauranga Darshan Prabhu here today, and we'll be listening from him the essence of Grantharaj Srimad Bhagwatam. Grantharaj Srimad Bhagwatam ki jai. His Grace Gauranga Darshan Prabhu ki jai.
That may be less. Let's try that for a second. Reach the eye. Hare Krishna. Should we do Jayadhanada? Take the instruments. Hare Krishna. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवर धारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवर धारी। यशोदनन्दन व्रज जन रंजन। यशोदनन्दन व्रज जन रंजन। यशोदनन्दन व्रज जन रंजन। यमुना तीरवनचारि। यमुना तीरवनचारि। जय राधा माधव His divine grace Abhay Charanaravindam Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki Jai Om Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parivrajakacharya Ashtottara Srimad. His divine grace Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada ki Ramacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की ब्रज भूमि श्री वृंदावन धाम की पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र श्री जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की गंगामयी की यमुनामयी भक्ति देवी की तुलसी देवी की कली गोपावन हरिनाम संकीर्तन की हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र की all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्या चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरोन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्रीराधा कृष्ण पादान् सहगणा ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्ता राधा कान्ता नमोस्तुते तप्त काञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमः। ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम Hare Krishna. My humble obeisances to all the devotees at ISKCON, Auckland, New Zealand. Although all of us are meeting for the first time, still all of us are devotees of Krishna, trying to practice bhakti. So we belong to the same family. We are having the same aspiration to attain Krishna Prema. We are referring to the same spiritual literature, Srimad Bhagwatam and Bhagavad Gita. We are worshipping the same Lord, Sri Krishna. We are following the same Acharya, Srila Prabhupada. We have similar lifestyles, similar aspirations, similar sambandha with Krishna as servants, eternal servants, similar abhideya, the process of Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, similar prayojan, to attain love of God. So it is by the grace of Srila Prabhupada that people from different nationalities and different tastes and habits and geographical locations and backgrounds have come together to follow the same process and to have the same goal of the process. All glories to His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Only an empowered Acharya can do that. There are so many empowered Acharyas on this planet. Since time immemorial, and especially since the beginning of Kali Yuga, there are so many Vaishnava Acharyas who have descended on this planet or who are made by the previous Acharyas into an Acharya with the one and only purpose of reconnecting the lost souls, conditioned souls, back to the path of Bhakti, back to the lotus feet of Lord Krishna. So we are very grateful to all of them. As the fourth canto of Srimad Bhagwatam says, Yairidrishi bhagavato gatiratmavada ekantato nigamabhi pratipaditanaha तुष्यन्त्वदभ्रकरुणो स्वकृतेन नित्यं को नाम तत्प्रतिकरोति विनोदपात्रम्. There are so many great acharyas who taught the path of bhakti in a way that is very relatable, adaptable, and applicable, actionable to the modern audiences. And they have deciphered the essence of all scriptures and gave us a simple and lucid path to follow. We are grateful to all of them. We are eternally grateful to all of them. In fact, we are so grateful that we cannot even sufficiently express our gratitude. Vina udapatram. When we think that we can sufficiently express our gratitude to all these great acharyas, we are like jokers. It's like a child can never repay the debt one owes to one's mother or father. Similarly, a follower of spiritual path can never repay one's debt to an acharya. He's like a spiritual parent. Well, parents give birth to a child's body. A spiritual parent or spiritual master gives birth to a devotee in that soul. Gives us the sufficient inspiration to follow the devotional path, and we can never repay their debt. The best way to reciprocate with their attempt to enlighten us, or the best way to express our gratitude for what they have given us is to take to the path of bhakti seriously. When we take to the path of bhakti seriously, sincerely, and accept the process that they are giving us, that's a wonderful way of expressing our gratitude. And if we have the bandwidth, if we can also spread that process and inspire 10 other people also to follow the path, that's a wonderful way of expressing gratitude. So this humble expression of gratitude to Prabhupada and all the wonderful Vaishnava Acharyas. Let me spend the next 1 hour to describe the essence of Srimad Bhagwatam as requested by the devotees here. So they asked me to speak on the essence of Bhagwatam. Bhagavatam itself is essence. And you want the essence of essence? So Bhagavatam itself is the essence of all scriptures. Sarva Vedanta Saramhi Sri Bhagavatam Ishyate Tad Rasamrita Triptasya. Sarva Vedanta Saramhi means Bhagavatam is the Sara, is the essence of all Vedas, Vedantas. Vyasadeva himself has written Vedanta Sutra, and he himself, the author himself, gave a commentary also to this Vedanta Sutra. Here is the author giving an explanation to what he has written. So he wrote Vedanta Sutra, and he has written a commentary on the Vedanta Sutra in the form of Srimad Bhagavatam. You must have read in Prabhupada's books. Srimad Bhagavatam is the natural commentary to Vedanta Sutras. Sarva Vedanta Saram Hi Sri Bhagavatam Ishyate. So Bhagavatam is the essence of all the scriptures, all the Vedas and the Vedanta Sutra. Tad Rasamrita Triptasya. One who has become very accustomed to relish this essence of all scriptures. Rasa Amrita means nectarian essence of this book, Srimad Bhagavatam. Triptasya, that can completely satisfy the heart. Such people, they will not look for any extra nectar anywhere else. When you are satisfied with what Srimad Bhagavatam is presenting to us, we don't look for nectar anywhere else. Tadrasamrita triptasya. We should have tripti. Bhagavatam will give us tripti, provided we access it. Right? The acharyas have given us access. Initially, these commentaries are available in Sanskrit and many other languages. But Srila Prabhupada translated Srimad Bhagavatam into English language so that the whole world can benefit by it. So this beautiful literature is made accessible to us by Vyasadeva's efforts, Sukadeva Goswami's efforts, and later so many other acharyas' efforts, and recently Prabhupada's effort. Now it's in a form that is very accessible to all of us. All we need to do is have that access and take benefit of that access and read it. I can share my experience when I just joined ashram 2009. In 2010, we shifted to GU. In Govardhanika village, when we went 15 years back, there was hardly anything. There was one big building which is meant for students. Some village students were studying there, and we new brahmacharis just entered there in our early 20s, and no temple. There were small government entities like this. We were attending Mangalarti in front of government entities. There was no official Bhagavatam class also in those days. After so many months, we just started some Hindi Bhagavatam class in the evening for about half an hour and 45 minutes. We ourselves were gathering. So in those days, we didn't have access to all these laptops and internets, etc. We used to have one Vodafone Wi-Fi modem, not Wi-Fi. What is it called? Wi-Fi? We call it Wi-Fi. Dongle. Modem. You connect it to your laptop. It has 1 GB download capacity for 1 month. Not for 1 day. 1 GB download capacity for 1 month for entire ashram, not individually. Ashram, whatever 25, 30 people are there, all of us used to access that 1 GB modem. And we could never complete 1 GB download capacity in 1 month, all of us put together. Because hardly any signal. Even now also, we hardly have, we don't have very clear signals. Those are attending my online classes, if at all somebody is here, they will understand. Oftentimes, our signal goes away. Although we have implemented so many systems, but in 15 years also, we could not improve much. Sometimes mobile signals won't work, Wi-Fi signals don't work. So in those pre-internet days, we used to read books. Now also I read books only. But nowadays we are traveling, we also read in this, what is that called? Kindle Bhagavatam and book Bhagavatam and Kindle Bhagavatam. Bhagavatam talks about 2 Bhagavatams, person Bhagavatam and book Bhagavatam. And we have Kindle Bhagavatam and book Bhagavatam. iBooks are whatever books you may call it. So in those days we did not have Bhagavatam set also. I didn't have a personal Bhagavatam set. So I used to borrow from a library. You know what is library? A small bookshelf. With 1 Bhagavatam set, donated by somebody, and a few other books. And we wanted some books. We would go to our senior devotee and ask, "Bro, we need some more books." All the books available in the book rack, have you read all of them? First finish them and then come back. No budget to buy more books also. So I used to borrow 1 book. I would keep that book with me, Bhagavatam volume, small volume. I would take notes. And the library in charge will come to me after 10 days or 2 weeks. Says, "Prabhu, you are keeping that book with you for a couple of weeks. It's time to read." So I would say, "Oh, 2 more days. I have 2 chapters pending." Then I will increase my pace of my reading. And I'll complete the chapter nicely and just make notes and return the book and take the next volume. So next volume is not available. Another devotee has taken. Oh, you have to wait for 2 days. Then I'll wait in separation, in suspense. What's going to happen in the next chapter of this kind of Bhagavatam? That's how we read Srimad Bhagwatam 15 years back. But now, so much access. Bhagavatam is there in the phone somewhere. Bhagavatam is there in the phone also, in the laptop also, in the tablet also. Books are also there. But nowadays, when I see devotees having profuse access to these literatures, yet not much time with them, I feel it kind of saddens me. So Prabhupada had spent sleepless nights to write these books. Can't we read the book during the daytime at least? You don't have to spend a sleepless night to read the book. Just because he wrote it with compromising his sleep, you don't have to compromise your sleep. But whatever time we have, if we can manage to read, life will be perfect. What I noticed over the years is when there is more access to some privilege, there is less appetite for it. But when there is less access to some privilege, there's more hankering for it. So, anyways, I spoke some days of our initial listening ashram when we were in early 20s. 15 years back story only. But if you go few decades back and few centuries back, if people wanted an extra copy of Bhagavatam, they need to copy, literally. They need to write. There's no printing press also in those days. Then we have Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur employing Bharat Bradanga in the service of the Lord, printing books, printing devotional literatures, and instructing Srila Prabhupada, whenever you get money, you print books, Right. Now people want e-books. Fine, no problem. Let the transcendental literature be available in whichever format that people can access easily. But taste is important. Interest is important. We need to value that literature. We need to give importance to the concept of reading it and relishing it, and not just reading and relishing and applying it. Right. So, anyways, let's come to the topic. Essence of Srimad Bhagavatam. As I said, Bhagavatam itself is essence. Right in the beginning of Bhagavatam, there's a beautiful shloka. Nigama kalpatarorgalitam phalam sukhamukhadamritadrava samyutam pipata bhagavatam rasamalayam muhuraho rasika bhuvi bhavuka. Nigama kalpatarorgalitam phalam. Srimad Bhagavatam is the ripened fruit of the desire tree of all Vedic literatures. Sukhamukhad amritadrava samyutam. Bhagavatam itself is a ripened fruit which is already tasty, very nectarian. On top of it, when Sukadeva Goswami spoke Srimad Bhagavatam, it has become even more nectarian. Right? Ripened mango is very nice and sweet and very tasty. But if a parrot bites it, its flavor increases. Similarly, Srimad Bhagavatam, filled with nectarian narrations of Krishna's Nama, Rupa, Guna, Leela, is very tasty and very relishable. But when Sukadeva Goswami speaks Srimad Bhagavatam, it becomes even more relishable, even more tasty. Right? Sukhamukhad amritadrava samyutam pibata bhagavatam rasamalayam muhuraho rasika bhuvi bhavuka. Pibata, drink this nectar of Srimad Bhagavatam. O rasika, O relisher of nectar, please drink this nectar of Srimad Bhagavatam. In the first line, Bhagavatam is described to be a fruit. Nigama kalpataror galitam phalam. Galitam means ripened. Phalam means fruit. So Bhagavatam is compared to a ripened fruit in the first line of the shloka. But in the third line it says pibata Bhagavatam, drink the fruit. Do you drink a fruit or eat the fruit? But therefore we need to read the second line. In the second line, this fruit has become juice. Right? Sukhamukhadamritadrava samyutam. That phalam has become dravam. The drava has to be dravatam, drink, the nectar of Srimad Bhagavatam. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, a great commentator on Srimad Bhagavatam, he wrote a commentary called Sarartha Darshini. He says that Srimad Bhagavatam must be repeatedly heard, repeatedly drunk, relished. Pibata Bhagavatam rasamalayam muhur. Muhur means repeatedly. Muhuraho rasika bhuvi bhavukaha. Rasika means relisher of nectar, relisher of rasas. What is rasa? Rasa is a specific relationship or the juice of a relationship that is between Krishna and his devotee. Krishna and his devotee share some wonderful relationships, whether as master-servant or friends or parent, child or lover and beloved. So there are multiple rasas. So the taste of such a relationship with the Supreme Lord is called rasa. If you are North Indian, we call ras. South Indian people call rasa. Don't worry about it. Different people have different accents. Anyways, rasa. Pibata Bhagavatam rasamalayam muhuraho rasika. This is rasamalayam. It's an abode of all rasas, rasic descriptions. And if you are a rasika, if you are a relisher of nectar, just drink. Nicely. Right? Relish it. You drink this nectar, you become intoxicated and you faint. Rasamalayam. Alayam means the 8th stage of Ashtasatvika Vikara. The Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Rupa Goswami describes different types of ecstasies, devotional ecstasies. So one is called Ashta Sattvika Vikar. There are different kinds of emotions called Sattvika Bhavas, Vibhichari Bhavas, Sanchari Bhavas, Vibhava, Anubhava. So many Bhavas are there. We are struggling with Anartha Nivritti. That's too much for us to figure out. But one category of emotions are called Sattvika Bhavas. They are 8 in number, Ashta Sattvika Bhavas. In the 8th, you kind of faint in ecstasy. Right? In the 8th stage, you faint in ecstasy. So Pipata Bhagavatam Rasamalayam. That alayam refers to the 8th stage of Sattvika Bhava and where you faint in ecstasy. You drink this nectar of Bhagavatam and you faint in ecstasy, devotional ecstasy. And you get up. Again you drink. Again you faint. Ordinary drunkards in this world, they drink. Some diluted drink, some raw. Right? They drink and they faint. They get up. Again they drink. Again they faint. Again they get up. They drink. Again they faint. Just like materialistic drunkards drink wine, drink alcohol, drink some kind of intoxicant and become intoxicated and faint in a different ecstasy. And when they get up, they again ask for it. 1 more bottle, please. 2 more bottles, please. They drink and faint. Like that, a spiritualist, a devotee also should drink the nectar of Srimad Bhagavatam and faint. Get up, drink and faint. Get up, drink and faint. That's how we should be spiritually intoxicated. We have 4 regulative principles. One of them is no intoxication. But we have to have another regulative principle. There is intoxication in bhakti. That intoxication must be drinking Bhagavatam. Right? You drink Srimad Bhagavatam and get intoxicated profusely and faint and get up and again you get intoxicated. Regularly, you stay high forever. There's one chapter in Prabhupada Leelamrit that is stay high forever. Means you always be in an intoxicated state only, never come down. So that's how a devotee's life must be. Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Bhagavatam is not meant for one-time reading. Bhagavatam is meant for repeated reading, repeated drinking. I never drank even a drop of that in my life. I don't have experience, but I have seen people doing it. And even Bhagavatam also, there's some taste. I just smelled it. But I need to enter deep into this ocean of nectar and dive deep. There's a lot of jewels you can extract in this ocean of nectar. So I was asked to speak about the essence of Srimad Bhagavatam. The essence of Srimad Bhagavatam in short, in the shortest possible way, essence of Srimad Bhagavatam is bhakti unto Krishna. What Bhagavatam talks to all of us is Krishna bhakti. Perform devotional service unto the Supreme Lord Krishna. This same message is repeated from the first canto till the last canto. In multiple pastimes, in multiple cantos, in multiple chapters, in multiple shlokas, through multiple characters, through multiple prayers. My God. Only one message. Don't you find it repetitive? No. When you completely study Srimad Bhagavatam and come to the 11th, 12th canto, you feel, why can't there be 13th canto? Why did Vyasadeva conclude Bhagavatam so fast? You will feel like that. How many of you read Bhagavatam completely? 12 cantos here? Did you feel like that? There should be, okay, because there is no 13th canto, you come back to first canto and read again. We reread because in our first reading we have not sufficiently read. We have not understood completely, therefore we reread. But those who have understood it nicely also they want to read more because they want to relish that understanding more and more. That's what Bhagavatam does to all of us. And who can actually relish Srimad Bhagavatam? Although we read Bhagavatam, many of us, at least partially or completely, we read Srimad Bhagavatam, we may not fully relish it or connect with it. The reason is there is envy in the heart. When there is envy in the heart, we cannot understand Gita or Bhagavatam. Krishna said in the Bhagavad Gita, Idam tu te guhyatavam pravakshyamyanasuyave. Oh, Arjuna, I am revealing this most confidential message of Bhagavad Gita to you because anasuyave, you have no envy in your heart. Only non-envious people can understand Srimad Bhagavatam or Bhagavad Gita nicely. That's about Bhagavad Gita. Arjuna could understand Bhagavad Gita because he had no envy in the heart. Similarly, Bhagavatam also. Dharma projita kaitavotra paramo nirmatsaranam satam. Vidyam vastavamatra vastu shivatam tapatrayon mulanam. In this long shloka, there is one phrase. Nirmatsaranam satam vedyam. Bhagavatam is understood by Nirmatsara devotees, those who do not have any matsaryata or envy in their hearts. To the degree we are non-envious, to that degree we understand Srimad Bhagavatam. To the degree we are envious, to that degree the meanings of Srimad Bhagavatam are hidden to us. Bhagavatam will not reveal its deeper insights to all of us. When Bhagavatam detects there is some envy in the heart. Now, how does Bhagavatam know? It's just a book, printed book. Book Bhagavatam or Kindle Bhagavatam. How does it know that I have some envy? Please understand, Bhagavatam is Krishna himself. When Krishna appears in the form of a boar, he is called Varaha Avatar. When he appears in the form of a half man, half lion, he is called Narasimha Avatar. When he appears as a tortoise, he is called Kurma Avatar. Similarly, when he appears in the form of a book, he is Grantha Avatar, Srimad Bhagavatam. Sri Krishna Parivartita. Sanatana Goswami in his Krishna Leela Stava glorifies Srimad Bhagavatam as non-different from Krishna. And if you want to describe what Bhagavatam is, in short, Bhagavatam is Krishna who appeared in a book form. The Supreme Lord takes the form of a book, Grantha. That is Srimad Bhagavatam. And Krishna's form and Bhagavatam's 12 cantos are not different. Padau yadiyau prathamadvitiyau trutiyaturyau kathitau yaduru nabhistatha panchama eva shashtho mukhantaram doryugalam tathanyau bhujantaram doryugalam tathanyau kanthastu rajau navamo yadiyau mukharavindam dashamah prafullam ekadasho yasya lalatapattam shiropitu dvadasha eva bhati Tamadi devam karunanidhanam tamalavarnam stuhisavataram apara samsara samudra setum bhajamahe bhagavata swarupam. Pado yadiyo prathamadvitiyo. The first two cantos of Srimad Bhagavatam are not different from the lotus feet of Krishna. Third and fourth cantos are like his thighs. And the fifth canto is like his navel. Sixth canto is like his chest, Vakshasthala. Seventh and eighth cantos are his arms. Ninth canto is his throat. 10th canto is his face. 11th canto is his forehead. 12th canto is his head. Thus, when you are studying Srimad Bhagavatam from the first canto to the 12th canto systematically, we are taking darshan of Krishna. We are just taking Krishna's darshan. Very enlivening darshan. We need to drink the nectar of Srimad Bhagavatam, not with mouth, with your ear holes. Pibanti ye bhagavata atmanasatam kathamrutam shravanaputeshu sambhritam punanti te vishaya vidushitashayam vrajanti tacharana saroruhantikam. Pibanti ye bhagavata atmanasatam. When you drink the nectar of Srimad Bhagavatam, through what? Shravanaputeshu. With your ear holes, if you drink Srimad Bhagavatam, then Krishna will enter through the sound vibration of Srimad Bhagavatam. The personality Krishna will enter into our ears. Ears are like doors. This is our home. To enter the home of your heart, you want Krishna to enter the home of your heart, you open the door of your ears. Then Krishna will enter. And he will enter and sit there. And he does two things. Number one, Punantite Vishaya Vidushita Ashayam means he will clean any contaminated aspirations in our hearts. Vishaya Vidushita Ashayam. Ashayam means aspiration. Vishaya means sense enjoyment. Vidushita means contaminated. The aspirations of a common conditioned soul are contaminated by desires for sense enjoyment. Right? Most of the conditioned souls in this world aspire to enjoy on a sensual plane repeatedly in a high degree. That's the aspiration of conditioned souls here. But that contaminated materialistic aspirations will be purified when you allow Krishna to enter your heart through your ear holes by hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. Unanti te vishaya vidushitasayam vrajanti tatcharana saroruhantikam. Second effect. First effect is purification of the contaminated aspirations in the heart. Second effect of hearing Bhagavatam is we will reach Krishna's lotus feet. We'll attain Krishna. Srimad Bhagavatam will enable us to attain the lotus feet of Krishna in the spiritual world. That's the power of Srimad Bhagavatam. When we discussed a few minutes back, when there is envy in the heart, we can't understand Srimad Bhagavatam. I have envy. Should I not read Bhagavatam? How many of us have some envy in the heart here? Some of you. Some are pure devotees, they don't have, but some of us have envy. Should we not read Bhagavatam? Because there is envy, we can't understand anyways. But we think like that. Actually, to get rid of envy, we have to read Bhagavatam. By reading Bhagavatam, our envy is gone. Then again read Bhagavatam. Then we can understand it better. Right? So the proof is this. Pravishtaha karnarandhrena. Pravishtaha karnarandhrena. Svanam bhavasaroruham. Svanam bhavasaroruham. Dhunodishamalam Krishnaham. Salilasya yatha sharad. The meaning is Pravishtaha Karnarandharena. The sound vibration of Srimad Bhagavatam enters our ear holes. Krishna will enter. Swana Bhavasaroruham. He will sit in the lotus emotions of his hearts, of devotees' hearts. The emotions of a sincere devotee who is hearing Srimad Bhagavatam are compared to a lotus. Krishna sits on a lotus. These are our lotus emotions, and Krishna will come and sit there. And what does he do? Dhunoti Shamalam Krishna. He will completely destroy or wash away all the anarthas in the heart. Anartha nivritti happens by hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. In the car we were discussing. Nashta prayeshva bhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavatyuttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naishthiki. All of us know the shloka, but how many of us have meditated on the simple meaning of the shloka? Nashta prayeshu abhadreshu. All our abhadras means anarthas, means unwanted qualities like lust, envy, pride, greed are gone. Nashta prayeshu abhadreshu. By hearing Bhagavatam, Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. By regularly hearing Bhagavatam, all our anarthas are eradicated. Then Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. Naishtiki Bhakti means steady devotional service. Anishtita Bhakti means unsteady devotional service. Means Anishtita Bhakti means today you are very enthusiastic to chant, tomorrow you are kaun karega so long. Who will chant 60 words? Why Prabhupada kept such a high standard? Why can't it be 8? Why can't it be 4? 2 is sufficient. Even one holy name is sufficient to deliver us from this material existence. 16 rounds. You will think like that. There are some questions. Today we are enthusiastic to do some service and tomorrow enthusiasm is gone. Today we are enthusiastic to hear, but that enthusiasm is gone. That is called unsteady practice of bhakti. Anishtita bhakti. So how many of us feel that unsteadiness in our practice of bhakti? My hand is up. I'm being honest. I'm not raising hand so that you will raise hand. I'm raising hand because I'm expressing my practice is also unsteady. But to make that unsteady practice of bhakti steady, or anishtita bhakti into nishtita bhakti, then we need to hear Bhagavatam. Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya will make our bhakti naishtiki. Bhaktir bhavati naishtiki. We'll get some nishtha. We'll make it steady. To steadily practice bhakti, actually we have been given this rare gift of bhakti. The Acharyas, Sukadeva Goswami, Vyasadeva, Srila Prabhupada, Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur, this whole parampara who is representing Krishna, they have given us this rare gift of Srimad Bhagavatam, rare gift of the process of devotional service, but somehow we are not utilizing that gift sufficiently. We are not being steady in our practice of bhakti. For that we need to regularly hear Srimad Bhagavatam. Regularly hearing Srimad Bhagavatam will make our bhakti steady, not once in a while. So, the essence of coming to the essence of Srimad Bhagavatam, we have seen a lot of glories of Srimad Bhagavatam, what Bhagavatam does to us. As I said some time back, the essence of Srimad Bhagavatam is bhakti. Actually, Bhagavatam is written by Vyasadeva under the instruction of Sukadeva Goswami, instruction of Narada Muni, just to describe bhakti very elaborately and repeatedly. Actually, Vyasadeva has written so many scriptures. He wrote 18 Puranas, he wrote Upanishads, he wrote 4 Vedas. He instructed his disciples to divide the Vedas into smaller sections and subsections and propagate amongst the humanity. And he also wrote Mahabharata. Despite writing so many devotional or spiritual literatures, with the pure intent to benefit the Kali Yuga people, Vyasadeva was still despondent, dissatisfied, not very happy at his heart. Then he started contemplating. He was thinking, why am I so dissatisfied? Why am I feeling so despondent? I have already written so many literatures. He's an accomplished author. He wrote so many books. 5,000 years back, but still he's feeling dissatisfied. Then, as he was reflecting, some thought appeared in his heart. That was, maybe I have not sufficiently highlighted the path of bhakti, which is very dear to the devotees and Krishna, in my books. In the books that I have written, I have not sufficiently described Krishna and Krishna bhakti. Is that the reason for my dissatisfaction? As he was thinking like that, Narada Muni appeared there. To cut the long story short, Narada Muni simply confirmed the thought process of Vyasadeva. Yes, Vyasadeva, you are dissatisfied because you have not sufficiently highlighted bhakti, Krishna bhakti in your literature. Whatever you have written so far, you spoke too much about dharmartha, kama, moksha, 4 purusharthas, right? Dharma means performing some kind of religious activities to get artha, money. To utilize that money in kama, some material desires. And when they're frustrated in kama, they think about moksha. We want moksha. We want some liberation from this material existence. So this is considered cheating practice of cheating religion, cheating dharma. Dharmartha, kama, moksha. These are considered 4 purusharthas or 4 human goals. But beyond these 4 purusharthas is a panchama purushartha called prema, Krishna prema. In the literatures that Vyasadeva has written so far, there is overemphasis on 4 purusharthas, but there is hardly any emphasis on Panchama Purushartha, which is Krishna Prema. And Srimad Bhagavatam is written for the purpose of highlighting the Panchama Purushartha, which is Krishna Prema. That's the essence of Srimad Bhagavatam. And we attain Krishna Prema by chanting Krishna Nama and performing Krishna Bhakti. So that's the subject matter of Srimad Bhagavatam. Narada Muni instructed him. You have not sufficiently described Krishna Bhakti. Let's describe now. Describe Krishna, Krishna's qualities, Krishna's incarnations, Krishna's devotees and their pastimes, how they perform Bhakti. Bhagavad Gita ends with Sarva Dharman Parityajya Bhamekam Sharanam Vraja. Yes. Continue. Krishna concludes Bhagavad Gita teachings by saying that give up all kinds of dharmas that you have concocted or that are imposed upon you and adopt this highest dharma, which is Mam Ekam Sharanam Vraja, just take my shelter. Somebody may say Bhagavad Gita is a book of dharma. How can the conclusion of Bhagavad Gita say give up all dharma, sarva dharman parityajya? Bhagavad Gita's point is not in giving up dharmas, it's going up in dharma. There is a difference between giving up and going up. To go up, you have to give up some lower things, right? The emphasis is not on giving up dharma. Go up in dharma. Oh, you are following Kshatriya dharma, that's great, fine. But is there anything higher? Bhagavata dharma. Or you are following Varna dharma or Ashrama dharma or There are so many kinds of dharmas. There is vritti dharma, there is kutumba dharma, there is apad dharma, there is samanya dharma, there is sadharana dharma. Different dharmas we follow, different duties. But the highest dharma is to take shelter of Krishna. And that's what Bhagavad Gita emphasizes. Krishna emphasizes in the Gita at the end. Sarva dharman parityajya mam ekam sharanam raja. Give up all the secondary dharmas and adopt to the primary dharma. That is Bhagavata dharma. And Bhagavatam begins from there. Sarva dharman parityajya mam ekam sharanam raja. You give up all dharmas and take shelter of Krishna. That's the conclusion of Bhagavad Gita. And Bhagavatam begins with that. That is the essence of Bhagavatam. Please repeat. Savai pumsam paro dharmo yato bhaktiradhokshaje ahaytuki apratihata yayatma suprasidati. Savai pumsam paro dharmo. The paro dharma, or the supreme duty of every single living being, is yato bhakti radhokshaje, performing bhakti unto adhokshaja, that Lord who is beyond the perception of material senses, but that Lord who becomes accessible and perceivable and conceivable to those people who are practicing bhakti, which is the spiritual occupational duty. Yato bhakti radhokshaje, and that bhakti must be performed ahayituki, without any material expectations in return, without any selfish agendas. Apratihata, without any interruptions or irregularities or inconsistencies. Then, yayatma suprasidati, that will completely satisfy the heart. Whatever we do in this world, we are aspiring for genuine satisfaction of heart. And that is available only by nisvartha bhakti, only by devotion without any expectation. So that process of devotional service, without any selfish motivations or inconsistencies, that is the essence of Bhagavatam. And who can perform that Bhagavatam? Only great souls? No, anybody. Anybody can perform Bhagavatam. Anybody can perform Bhakti Marga. Second kind of Bhagavatam says, Akamaha sarva kamo va moksha kama udaradhihi tivrena bhakti yogena yajeta purusham param. Akamaha. You don't have any material desires? That's great. Perform bhakti. Sarva kamo va. You have all kinds of material desires? Still no problem. Perform bhakti. Moksha kama is specifically desire liberation. It's okay. Perform bhakti. Whatever background you may belong to, you can always practice the process of devotional service. So Bhagavatam emphasizes the importance of performing bhakti. At the end of the 5th chapter of the 1st canto, in the conversation between Narada Muni and Vyasadeva, a beautiful statement is made. Narada Muni instructed Vyasadeva to write Srimad Bhagavatam in such a way that it mitigates the miseries of common people and satisfies the hankerings of very advanced spiritualists. You understood this? Mitigating the miseries of common people means common people are too much caught up in so many difficulties, so many miseries. They look for a solution to their problems. Too many problems. Dukkha, so many distresses. How can I be relieved from this distress? That's their primary pursuit, to relieve themselves from distress. Such people, can they take shelter of Bhagavatam? Yes, of course. Bhagavatams for suffering souls. Definitely. But there are some advanced devotees, very, very advanced devotees. They have no material suffering at all. Like Prahlad Maharaj, recently we celebrated Narasimha Chaturdasi. Prahlad Maharaj said, Naivo dvijaya para duratyaja vaitaranya dvadvirya gayana mahamrta magna chitta shoche tato vimukhache tasa indriyartha maya sukhaya bharamudvahato vimudhan. He said, I have absolutely no suffering, no misery, no difficulty in this material world. But I have one problem. When I look at these conditioned souls suffering in this material existence, Seeing them, I start lamenting. That is his problem. But basically, he himself does not have any problem. So we have seen that Bhagavatam is meant for suffering souls. But there are devotees, they don't have any suffering. Bhagavatam is meant for them also. Those who are very advanced in devotional service, they look for nectar. They look for more and more deeper descriptions of spirituality, deeper and more enlivening descriptions of Krishna's Nama Rupa Guna Leela. Bhagavatam is meant for them also. Some books are basic, they present the basics. This book that is for our Narada Muni, what is his name? Devarshi, who is in his first grade. That book cannot be given to some older kids here, right? Those who are studying 10th standard or 8th standard, they'll find this textbook that he's studying irrelevant. And if you give that book, the 10th standard book to this boy, he will not figure out, he will not understand what's written there, right? Some books are meant for some audiences only, but Bhagavatam is meant for everybody. Kids also can understand Bhagavatam. Adults also can understand Bhagavatam. Very new and beginners in bhakti also can understand Bhagavatam, can find Bhagavatam relevant, and very advanced devotees also find Bhagavatam relevant. Bhagavatam is filled with topics like very, very esoteric and very exalted topics like Brahmara Gita, Gopi Gita, Yugala Gita, Venu Gita, Krishna's pastimes with the Gopis of Vrindavan, his loving exchanges with the Vrajavasis. Yeah, Bhagavatam is meant for those who are very, very advanced in bhakti. At the same time, Bhagavatam also presents how to eradicate anarthas, how to rise above lower modes through the teachings of Lord Kapila, through Uddhava Gita, through the descriptions of the creation of this universe, through the descriptions of cosmology, and also some philosophical discussions that happened between Rahugana and Jada Bharat, Devahuti Mata and Kapila Dev, and Narada Muni and Yudhishthir Maharaj, Maitreyi Muni and Vidura, and of course Sukadeva Goswami and Parikshit Maharaj. So many such conversations reveal some basics and fundamentals and foundational philosophical truths to lay a very wonderful foundation to our spiritual life. Bhagavatam presents basics also and very advanced topics also. Soham Drinam Kshulla Sukhaya Dukkham Mahadgatanam Virabaya Tasya Pravartaye Bhagavatam Puranam Yadaha Sakshat Bhagavan Rishubhya. Soham Pranam Kshulla Sukhaya Mahaddukham. There are so many people in this world, for a meager amount of happiness, they are undergoing tremendous amount of distress. And Bhagavatam is spoken to make them stop that unnecessary endeavor. For this much amount of happiness, you are undergoing this much distress, not worth it. You may like gulab jamun, but you can't pay $1,000 to get one gulab jamun. It's okay. Similarly, people may like sense gratification. It's not worth spending your human form of life to gratify senses. That's available for dogs also, cats also. Why should you spend so much of your human energy, human time to get bodily happiness? What is body? It is just a bag of flesh, bones, blood, stool, urine, mucus, nerves, hairs. That's what the body is. And if a human being also is looking for that happiness on the bodily plane, what's the point? So, Kshulla Sukhaya Mahaddukham. Tremendous amount of distress for little bit of happiness. Stop this. How to stop? Pravartaye Bhagavatam Puranam Yadaha Sakshat Bhagavan Rishubhya. Just to stop this useless, unnecessary endeavor or ati prayasa for Indriya Trupti. Bhagavatam is written. That is like one extreme of Bhagavatam. Cater to the needs of materialistic people, conditioned souls and sense gratifiers. On the other extreme, Bhagavatam is also spoken. Dharma projita kaita utra paramo nirmatsaranam satam. Nirmatsara, totally non-English people only can understand Bhagavatam. Paramahamsas can understand Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam Purana Bavalam Yadvaishnavanam Priyam. Yasmin Paramahamsyam Ekamabalam Jnanam Param Giyate Tatra Jnana Viraga Bhakti Sahitam Naishkarmyam Avishkritam tat Shranvan Supatan Vicharana Paro Bhaktya Vimuchye Naraha. Srimad Bhagwatam Purana Mamalam, it's a spotless Purana. What is spotless Purana? Other Puranas have some spots or what? Purana Mamalam. Basically, this Purana doesn't describe any materialistic topics on the level of Sattvagun, Rajogun, Tamogun. Any topics on the level of Dharmartha, Kama, Moksha. The three gunas and four Purusharthas are not the emphasis or focus of Srimad Bhagavatam. The focus is Krishna Bhakti. Therefore, it is Amala Purana. Srimad Bhagavatam Purana Babalam Yad Vaishnavana Priyam. Very dear to all the Vaishnavas. Yasmin Paramahamsyam Ekamamalam Jnanam Param Giyate. It's understood by Paramahamsas. Paramajnanam. It describes, Bhagavatam describes the topmost knowledge. Tatra Jnana Viraga Bhakti Sahitam Naishkarmyam Avishkritam. Avishkritam is to inaugurate, to launch, to release. What is Bhagavatam launching in front of all of us? That non-reactionary work. Naishkarmya means non-reactionary work. Karma means you perform an activity. Naishkarmya means you perform an activity without any reaction. Action is done, but no reaction. Action on the material plane is done, but it has no material reaction. Because you are using your material senses, working with material objects for the pleasure of the Supreme Spiritual Lord. Therefore, this action, which seems like a material action, is not a material action. Therefore, it has no material reaction. It's actually spiritual action. It will have a spiritual reaction. Right? Flower is material. We have this material body. But you pluck a flower and offer it to Krishna the way you have done here. It becomes a spiritual activity. Flower becomes spiritual. Right? So, Bhagavatam launches that kind of karma. Naishkarmya. Tatra jnana viraga bhakti sahitam naishkarmya avishkritam. So, Bhagavatam emphasizes on the importance of performing activities with devotion, which result in renunciation and knowledge. Jnana viraga bhakti sahitam. Bhakti is devotion, jnana is knowledge, viraga means detachment, naishkarmya means non-reactionary work. Four things. Bhagavatam emphasizes on the importance of performing selfless activities with devotion to Krishna that will result in natural detachment and knowledge. That's what Bhagavatam does. Tat Shranvan, hear Bhagavatam. Supathan means study Bhagavatam. Vicharana Paro, contemplate on Bhagavatam. Bhaktya, do it with devotion. Vimuchya Naraha, you'll be renewed from this material world. That's the focus of Srimad Bhagavatam. To equip us with the necessary ability to see life, human life, as an opportunity to connect with Krishna. To set a proper goal. The essence of Srimad Bhagavatam is to make our goal as Krishna Prema, not Indriya Tripti. Essentially, Bhagavatam emphasizes on the importance of bhakti, bhakti yoga, pure devotional service. And who can be a devotee? Anybody can become a devotee. Recently, we celebrated Narasimha Chaturdasi. Prahlad Maharaj offers his prayers. Manye dhana vijana rupa tapashrutau jahati jaha prabhava bala paurusha buddhi yoga. Naradhanaya hi bhavanti parasya pumso bhaktya tutosha bhagavan gajayuthapaya. Manye dhana means wealth. Abhijana means followers. Tapa, austerity. Shruta, education. Manye dhana abhijana rupa tapa shruta oja teja prabhava bala paurusha buddhi yoga. These 1 dozen qualifications are neither qualifications nor disqualifications to attain Krishna's mercy. So what is the real qualification to attain Krishna's mercy? Bhaktya tutosha bhagavan gajayuthapaya. It is only by bhakti that Bhagavan can be attained. And even if he happen to be a dull-headed elephant also, if you have bhakti, Krishna will show mercy. That's the focus of Srimad Bhagavatam. All the other processes are also described in Bhagavatam. Like karma is described, jnana is described, yoga is described. That's only to do comparison. You go on this Amazon or some other different websites that sell products, right? And you compare specifications sometimes. Now there is this phone here, this phone here. You compare these two phones. How much RAM, how much RAM, camera, megapixel, what are many other screen size, thickness, this and that. So many specifications you compare, and you figure out this is the best. It seems you compare the best product with 10 other products. You will conclude this is the best product. Similarly, in Bhagavatam, there's karma described, gnana, yoga, bhakti, all are described. But others are described, but they are not prescribed. Karma, gnana, yoga are described, but they are not prescribed. What is prescribed is bhakti only. If you are prescribing this, why are you describing others? It's to show you comparison, to show you contrast, right? It's a contrast. I often give this example in our Radha Vrindavan Vihari temple and many temples. You keep jewelry of the deities on some plate that has velvet cloth, right? If you take them in a steel plate, gold jewelry, silver jewelry, golden necklaces and golden ratni, damani, bangles and all that you take in a silver tray or steel tray. You won't be able to figure out where did I keep things. But if you take in a velvet cloth tray, you will be able to easily figure out, here is the necklace, here is the bangle, here is the pile, here is the necklace. So like that you can figure out easily because there's a contrast in the color. In this dark red velvet or blue velvet or green velvet or black velvet background, this golden ornament or silver ornament is very much visible, shining. Similarly, Bhagavatam also describes bhakti along with karma path, jnana path, yoga path. Sometimes devotees who are reading Bhagavatam, they're too much caught up in what will happen to that yogi, what will happen to that karmi, what will happen to that jnani. Really leave it. That's not the focus of Bhagavatam. You are not supposed to read Bhagavatam to figure out what is the destination of a yogi or karmi or jnani. Okay, you are too curious. Whatever is given, it's fine. But don't leave bhakti there. Focus is on bhakti. A contrast is given. You have to compare it. Now you have decided to purchase this phone. What is it? Samsung. You have decided to purchase this phone. Why are you studying, analyzing so much of a different phone? Right? All the specifications. You are not planning to use it anyway. So therefore, in our study of Bhagavatam, it's not worth being unnecessarily curious to know so many things about the other paths. You know as much as required for you to know to commit to the path of bhakti. Those descriptions are there only to increase your commitment to the path of bhakti, not to distract you from your absorption in bhakti. Anyways, although Bhagavatam also presents so many topics, all topics are like diverting us or directing us towards Krishna bhakti only, right? That is the essence of Srimad Bhagavatam. Grithara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Any questions, comments?
Really, it's very inspiring that you've told us you've given us so much glories about Srimad Bhagavatam. And as devotees, we want to study Bhagavatam. But again, time, other situations come into play. So if somebody has to seriously start, would you recommend what is the easiest way to make that start? Sometimes motivation is a bit lacking.
Motivation is lacking. Time is lacking. I heard from a senior devotee, where there is a will, Krishna will show the way. Way will not automatically manifest. Krishna will manifest the way, provided we have that will. Anyways, the first step is to sincerely desire. Sincerely desire to study Bhagavatam. Krishna will do the needful to facilitate it. But sincerity is lacking, even if the opportunity is given, we will not utilize it. But there is sincerity in desire. Although opportunity is not there, we will create that opportunity. We will hanker for that opportunity, and because of the hankering, automatically that opportunity will manifest by Krishna's grace. So as far as the lack of motivation is concerned, yes, we can hear more and more from those devotees who are more committed to studying and sharing Bhagavatam compared to us. So their commitment to study and share Bhagavatam is more than me. Let me hear from them. Some drops of inspiration and motivation will fall on me. And also, let's think in this way. Prabhupada was expanding the movement so much in the last 1 decade of his life. He's inaugurating so many temples, he's traveling across the globe so many times, and he's empowering and inspiring so many individuals. But parallelly, during the night, he was prioritizing translating Srimad Bhagavatam. Even in his last days on the deathbed, you see that picture, popular picture, Prabhupada is lying on the bed, and then some devotees are holding dictaphone and Prabhupada is translating Srimad Bhagavatam. Because he gave that much importance to it. At GEV, Govardhaniko village, we carved that picture on stone right next to the altar. There's Garbhagriha, stone Garbhagriha. Before you enter, on one side you will see Prabhupada sitting and translating Bhagavatam with a dictaphone. On the right side you will see Prabhupada lying on the bed and then translating. Because our founder Acharya has given so much importance to Srimad Bhagavatam, this book, as his followers, we need to, it's our responsibility to study them. That should be a sufficient reason, but there are many other reasons. Bhakti Bhavati Naishtik we discussed already. I have so many anarthas in my heart. And it's very clearly mentioned there, Nashta Prayasha Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavat Seva. By regularly hearing and studying Bhagavatam, anarthas are gone. Is that not a sufficient motivation to read Bhagavatam? We don't want to destroy our anarthas. And my bhakti is unsteady, anishtita. But bhakti bhavati naishtiki. Bhakti will become nishtita. It will become very steady by hearing Bhagavatam. So is that not a sufficient motivation to read Bhagavatam? How many of us are genuinely aspiring to make our bhakti more steady than now? And how many of us are genuinely aspiring to destroy our anarthas? If the genuine aspiration is there, we have to prioritize reading Bhagavatam. Not that we compromise on services, let's do that also. But Krishna will give us, Dadami buddhi yogam tam, Krishna will give us the necessary intelligence to balance both, provided we prioritize. Krishna will not do anything against our desire. Even a materialistic person also, if he desires something, Krishna will fulfill that material desire. If our desire is not strong enough, what will Krishna do? Sometimes when we have a strong desire and Krishna is not fulfilling, apparently, probably the desire is not strong enough, or we don't deserve it. Right? When we get surprised, Krishna will fulfill all the desires we have. Ah, yes, I have this desire since long time. Why Krishna is not fulfilling? Maybe we don't deserve it. Desire is not sufficient. We need to deserve it also. So, coming back to this point, we need to sincerely desire. Then Krishna will bestow upon us the opportunity. Dhruva Maharaj sincerely desired to offer prayers, but he had no ability to offer prayers. 5-year-old child. Then Krishna took his conscience, touched the forehead of Dhruva. Like USB transfer. All the Vedic knowledge is transferred into the head and heart of Dhruva. And Dhruva offered such eloquent prayers. 5-year-old child who can hardly speak. He is speaking eloquent prayers and we are studying it after hundreds and thousands of years. That's the power of Krishna's mercy. What we can't do on our own, we can do when Krishna sanctions it. Thank you very much. Will we conclude now? 8:15. Any other question, comment? Yes, bro.
Alright, so you described very well about the descriptive part of Bhagavatam, where he says the main part of the descriptive, what's his slides? But there are so many passages in Bhagavatam, it's very difficult to understand. And chapters read the question of it. Do we just read through it or try to understand?
Read as much as humanly possible, we'll understand it. But we are supposed to read Bhagavatam in the mode of Saragrahi and not Bharavahi. Bharavahi means burden carrier of so much of analytical knowledge. Saragrahi means the essence seeker of the most categorical, conclusive truths. So we go through this cosmology, teachings of Lord Kapila, Samatha and all that, not exactly to implement it. whatever is favorable within those descriptions to our bhakti, we'll take them. For example, Sankhya is going on, Jnana description is going on. There are some descriptions of sense control, mind control. They're relevant for bhakti also. So, of course, bhakti should be prominent, and in bhakti, senses are controlled by engaging the senses in Krishna's service. Right? So, whatever endeavors that we take up, they should be subservient to our devotion to Krishna. And that's what Bhagavatam repeatedly emphasizes. So, as far as Sankhya and other things are concerned, you understand as much as it's humanly possible, and then get the essence of it, and then let's move on. For example, Kapila spoke Sankhya in the 3rd canto of Bhagavatam, 25th chapter to 32nd chapter. But the essence of all these teachings is bhakti only. Bhakti, hearing Krishna Katha in the association of devotees. That's the essence of the entire Sankhya that he spoke. Whether we understand the nitty-gritties of the finer nuances of Sankhya philosophy or not, if you get the essence, that's sufficient. It's not also possible to understand everything that is there in Bhagavad. And it's not necessary also, as long as we get the essence. Thank you. Any other question, comment, objection? Okay, thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Prabhupada ki jai.